You keep wondering why peace feels like a stranger, even after all the books, the meditations, the affirmations. But here's the brutal truth. The biggest mistake holding you back from peace is that you've turned pain into your identity and healing into your mission, when in reality, both have become your prison. You wear your trauma like invisible armor, mistaking it for self-awareness, when it's actually fear in disguise, fear that if you put the pain down, you'll disappear with it. Fear that without the echo of what happened to you, you'll have no story left, no self left to hold on to. You confuse insight with transformation. But knowing why you're hurt isn't the same as healing. Just like knowing a storm is coming won't stop the rain. And here's the tragedy. You've become addicted to control, addicted to dissecting your pain like a surgeon, convinced that if you name every wound just right, peace will obediently arrive. But peace doesn't come from overthinking. It comes when you surrender your obsession with fixing. Carl Jung once said, "We don't become enlightened by imagining light, but by making the darkness conscious." Yet you've done the opposite. You've romanticized your shadows, woven them into your personality, and mistaken being deep for being healed. You've mistaken emotional awareness for emotional maturity. You still believe that if you stay vigilant enough, guarded enough, the world will finally hand you peace. But peace isn't a reward. It's a byproduct of letting go of the exhausting performance of constantly working on yourself. You chase closure like it's oxygen, not realizing that your craving for it is really your nervous system begging for safety. You wait for the right feeling to tell you it's time to move on, but feelings can lie. They often echo old patterns, not present truths. The real mistake? Expecting healing to feel safe, when in truth, peace is born on the other side of risk. The risk of not rehearsing your pain anymore. The risk of becoming someone who no longer needs their past to explain their present. You've built altars around your triggers and called them boundaries, but they're really just avoidance with nicer branding. You say you're protecting your peace, but what you're really protecting is your fear of being hurt again. You collect red flags like trophies, proud of your ability to detect toxicity, but paralyzed when it comes to creating something new. You expect peace to feel calm and soft, but sometimes it's rage that's finally allowed a voice, grief that's finally allowed to weep, silence that doesn't feel empty, but sacred. Peace doesn't come from mastering the vocabulary of emotions. It comes when you stop using your trauma to avoid accountability. That's the real mistake, thinking your pain earns you peace without the cost of radical honesty. Honesty about how you manipulate your suffering to stay comfortable. Honesty about how you perform healing for validation. Honesty about the terrifying truth that maybe, just maybe, you're afraid to become someone who has nothing left to fix. You think you want peace, but what you actually want is control, dressed up as healing. Real peace, the kind that rewires your soul, starts when you stop waiting to feel worthy of it and realize it's what's left when the noise of shame finally dies. You say you want to feel whole, but you're terrified of the stillness wholeness brings, because it means there's no more chaos left to hide in. And that chaos, it's become part of you, hasn't it? The overthinking, the spirals, the endless inner work. It's become your identity, your excuse, your armor. But peace doesn't grow in the soil of self-interrogation. You can't find silence by screaming into your own mind. Freud said we suffer more from imagination than from reality. And yet, You live inside a castle built of imagined threats, haunted memories, and the illusion that just a little more self-work will finally set you free. It won't. You don't need to fix yourself. You need to stop believing you're broken. Healing isn't about removing your pain. It's about releasing your attachment to it. You carry your wounds like a resume. Look what I've survived. Look how strong I am. But strength isn't in survival. It's in surrender. And surrender means allowing peace without permission. No more waiting for someone to say you've earned it. No more waiting for your nervous system to stabilize before you let love in again. No more editing your soul to make others comfortable. Peace doesn't need your struggle to be valid. It doesn't need your trauma to be justified. Peace is not a trophy, it's a rebellion. And it begins the moment you finally say, I am done using my past to predict my future. I am done being loyal to the version of me who only knew pain. I am done mistaking hypervigilance for wisdom. The big mistake isn't that you're not healed. It's that you're still waiting for healing to give you permission to live. It won't. Peace begins the second you stop performing your pain and start showing up for your life. So stop rehearsing your wounds. Stop narrating your misery. Stop glorifying your suffering like it's proof you've earned depth. That's not who you are anymore. Or maybe it never was. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to support the channel and get more helpful videos. See you next time.